I just thought like, fuck, how does he do this? And that's when I realized he's more powerful beyond this realm. I understand how the spiritual realm operates. I just knew, I was like, this guy's powerful. He's a powerful being. But guess what? So am I.
So much meat to fillet and get through
I mean,
layers.
3, 2, 1, go.
Let's go, boys. Episode 201, UFC Riyadh. It's a fun card this weekend. Meat Boy headlined by Izzy Adesanya, the return against your boy Imavov. Can't wait to get your take on all of that. But last week, or 2 weeks ago rather, UFC 311, your boy absolutely got smoked again. 2025, not up to a great start, but you went 2-3. You called Merab and Jiri. We don't need to recap all of 311, but what stood out to you? And is anyone going to beat Merab?
Honestly, at this point, I don't know if Merab could ever lose. I think he could even take Islam at this point. He is an absolute machine. It seems that since he dove headfirst into that brick of ice called a pond, frozen pond, he's just become untouchable, and I think that's going to proceed for the next couple years.
Yeah, Brick of Ice indeed, and we ended up breaking down 7. We got 5 in the end. Obviously, Moicano was the meatlock against Dariush. Ultimately, Armin pulls out, and Moicano jumps in against Islam. Benil is rendered opponentless, so we lose the meatlock. That ends up being a push. We lose the Islam versus Armin breakdown because that didn't happen. What do you make of Armin? What do you think is the actual set of circumstances behind what went down, and what are your thoughts on just how that all unfolded?
Yeah, it's truly unfortunate. It seems that Armin maybe didn't stretch his back, didn't have enough flexibility in his spine, so he just couldn't make it on the bike. Those stationary bikes are pretty tough. They're way tougher than actual mountain biking out in the real world. But I feel bad for the kid because that spine's going to take at least a year or two to heal on. I don't even know what the injury is, to be honest, but I just know it's real bad from what Dana said. So it looks like we're going to have to find a new contender. And I mean, what do they even do for Islam? Like, do they? I feel like they have to move him up because he's literally cleaned everyone out. Nobody's. It's almost like John Jones syndrome, like where people just aren't even gonna be excited at this point because it's like, we know what's gonna happen. He's going to ragdoll you. Like, cool. Like nobody cares. Like, there's not somebody right now that I feel confident where it's like, but maybe.
Yeah, there's really no one at 155 that could even seemingly compete with Islam at this point. 170, for as long as Bilal's champ, we probably won't see much there, and maybe he hops up to 185 and drags DDP out of bed because that would be an interesting fight. I would love to discuss that one with you down the line. But lots went down 2 weeks ago, Meat Boy. You trying to just jump straight into this Riyadh card though, because we got to get these locks on track.
Yeah, let's get right in the meat lock.
Swap us through then. It's Shara Bullets. It's the co-meat, and we like him as a meat lock in this one against MVP Michael Venom Page, who is plus 154, 22-3 overall, and he's coming off a decision loss against Ian Gary. It was a close fight, 1-1 heading into that third round, and then I think most inarguably believe that Ian got that third round decision clincher, but it was a close fight for sure, and he's getting put up against Shara Bullet, who undefeated, all the rage, right? Minus 200, so you're not getting these inflated, crazy odds that Shara Bullet has been netting throughout his first couple UFC fights, where he's been getting performance of the night and fight of the night bonuses back to back to back. And he's one of these fighters that you can just see the upward trajectory. Initially, he fights against Bruno Silva, your boy Blindado, and it was a little bit discouraging, right? I mean, he got the W, but it wasn't the most efficient or sexy performance. But since then, he's been getting better and better. And as a co-meet against an aging veteran like MVP in Saudi Arabia, this just kind of seems like a setup opportunity, as one might describe. So, what are your thoughts on this co-meet? Why do you like it as the meat lock? And how do you see Shara Bullet getting this one done over Michael Venom?
Yeah, he's in home turf territory, I would say. The judges will definitely be on his side. And when was the last time we saw MVP knock somebody out? It's been a minute, and I really don't see this guy losing unless it's a knockout. So I like the odds, and the bullet. He's been looking real sharp, and he has been leveling up. His gasting has gotten significantly better. Also, MVP's what, 40? This kid's, he's very young. He's a hungry up and comer. This just has Meatlock written all over it.
Yeah, 2019 was the last time MVP got a KO victory. He's had some TKOs since then, but as far as sleeping anyone, it's definitely been about 5 years, and it'd be difficult to see him getting a KO finish over the undefeated Shara Magomedov, who really doesn't absorb much damage, and he definitely is going out there ready to strike, and probably will mix it up, maybe add some grappling in this contest as well. But if it's the meatlock, I mean, one thing I was surprised to see was, despite the odds, right, minus 200 in favor of Shara Bullet, Tapology has slightly taken Michael Venom Page. It's 53% to 47%, 2,700 community votes, so a lot of people adding their take on that one. What do you make of the Tapology metrics and all the MVP backers?
Yeah, it's pretty wild to see. I mean, MVP definitely has a lot of fans, while the Bullet is up and coming with the fan base for the at least the hardcore MMA guys. They know who the Bullet is and MVP, but seems the casuals they're definitely riding MVP. He's got a bigger name.
Yeah, I buy that for sure, and we'll see how this one goes down. Again, it's a meatlock for a reason, so we like to think that Shara will get this one done. I think likely by decision, and if it ends up being some favorable judging, then that factors into it, unfortunately. But nonetheless, Shara's the meatlock, keeping it simple, throw down an easy 200 to net 100, get us our 113th meatlock, and get us back on track from the Moicano meltdown of last week, which ultimately wasn't really even a fight. So, any last thoughts on the Milan?
No, another lock nonetheless. Let's bounce back on this one.
Fake bounce back, right? Like nothing really even went down last week, but you know the gist. Either way, though, Mike Davis is the next one. Your boy Beast Boy taking on Fares ZM, the Smile Killer. Who this guy? I mean, he gets absolutely smoked by Terrence McKinney, 2022, and since then he's rifled off four beautiful wins, including a recent finish over Matt Frivola. Performance of the night, and I know you and I were thinking that Frivola might even be the steamroller in that one, but his smile got killed. For SZM absolutely smoked him easy light work, and this guy's been getting better and better, noticeably improving, and is seemingly coming into his own. And he's taking on Beast Boy, who is a guy who had all sorts of hype, but he never really fights. Right? His sort of career has been marred by inactivity. I mean, he fought in 2014 against Natan Levy. Before that, it was late 2022, early 2021 before that. So there's just been these long gaps for Beast Boy, but the odds makers are still favoring him. They still love all the hype. They love all the talent that this kid has demonstrated, even against SZM, who is kind of fake surging in the last couple of years. So in this contest, who you like? Do you like Beast Boy to come off the couch and absolutely ragdoll for SZM, or is it finally time to start being able to rely on the Smile Killer?
Yeah, no, this is a good fight. I feel like they're both very similar. They have a few L's. They're on a good fight win streak, both of them. And yeah, I don't know. Smile Killer has been really, I feel like proving himself to me. I do like what I've been seeing a little more, I think, and he is younger, so I do like that also. I don't know. I think I'm gonna pick Smile Killer via submission.
Yeah, the sub could be a YOLO lifer for sure, because I think most would think a decision is likely, or maybe even some sort of sniping at KO finish. So if you call a sneaky Darce or something slick in there, that would be amazing for sure. And if you look at Tapology, 65% is rolling with ZM, 35% going with Mike Davis, but it's basically all beige. So they think it's decision or bust for these guys. He is 5 years younger, like you said. He will have the slight reach and height advantage. He's training at Killcliff, whereas Mike Davis is always over at Fusion XL. So in this one, do you see this one going the distance, or would you be bullish on that sub?
Yeah, I could see it going the distance, but I think I'm 50-50 on it. I think it's going to be, 50% chance sub, 50% chance it's a decision. Could be either way.
Yeah, let's roll for SZM in this one, but who knows with Beast Boy, right? Because this guy's clearly good. He has some decent wins, and most of his fights are pretty non-competitive. And he has one loss, and it's to Gilbert Burns back in 2019, which was like peak Gilbert. So I like for SZM, but don't be surprised if Beast Boy goes and sleeps him in the first round. So I might avoid ZM in any sort of parlays and banking on him being a lock, but the pick is ZM, maybe a little bit reluctantly. Any last thoughts on this one?
No, this is a great fight, fun fight nonetheless.
Yeah, swap us through then, because I'm curious to see who you got in Thomas Peterson, aka Tommy Meat, versus Shamil Gaziv. Happy Shamil, who is minus 345. He's 13-1, and good on him. He rebounded after that absolute fumble, the historic debacle against Jairzinho Rosenstrike, in a fight where we thought he would be set up to perform, but ultimately he got absolutely trounced by Biggie Boy, and he responded well, got the win over Dontel Mays, but that is Dontel Mays. So in this one, he's taking on Thomas Peterson, who is 9-2, just fought Muhammad Usman most recently in another fight, Meat Boy, where we thought Mo Usman, aka Snooze Bro, would get that one done, and Tommy Meat made pretty light work of him. So seems like these are two heavyweights that might be Meat Boy cursed. Minus 345 is Happy Schmiel, though. Do you like those odds, or is Tommy Meat gonna keep the win streak alive?
I gotta imagine Tommy Meat is probably gonna keep the meat streak alive purely because of the name, but I don't know. Happy Schmiel definitely he's looking pretty Happy Schmiel recently, so it wouldn't surprise me if it's a double KO in this one. Um, Pretty torn, but I'm gonna go with Tommy Meat on this one.
93% is going with Happy Schmiel, only 7%. Essentially, friends and family is rolling with Tommy Peterson, but consider you a part of that 7%. If you are taking Thomas Peterson, aka Thomas the Train, how do you think he gets this one done? I mean, is he going to have to go out there and finish Gaziv? Is he going to have to out wrestle him? I mean, this seems like kind of a tall order against the fighter from Bahrain who clearly has been able to mix it up, and if he gets on top of Thomas Peterson, it might be light work. So, how do you anticipate Peterson winning this fight if he does have advantages?
Yeah, the only advantage I can think of is that, he's got his youth, he just beat one of the GOATs, Mohammed Usman. That's a pretty big one, I would say. And I just think Happy Schmiel, I don't know, loses the Rosenstrike. It just sounds like an upset to me. I like the odds too. Call me DGen, but man, at plus 300, I just don't think Happy Schmiel's that good. He's gonna have to wrestle him the whole time, and all it's gonna take is one train punch from, Thomas the Train.
Yeah, good call. I mean, for the odds, plus 275 isn't bad. I do think that Thomas Peterson deserves more than 7% because Happy Schmiel is pretty bad. I mean, let's, no bones about it. It's not like this guy is the next champ, but Thomas Peterson might also be pretty bad as well. So in this one, staying far away from it. I don't blame you for taking Thomas Peterson. For Meat Boy, though, I'm going to reluctantly take Happy Schmiel. I think this fight goes the distance. It's probably close. Thomas Peterson arguably wins, but ultimately Shamil emerges with a split decision. So I'm going to go Happy Schmiel, but stiff arming this one for sure. So any last thoughts on this heavyweight throwdown?
No, this should be a good one, fun one, nonetheless.
Yeah, swap us through then, Meat Boy, because it's another Nurmagomedov fighting, and it's been basically 3 straight weekends. January has been the month of the Nurmagomedovs, and last week Usman Nurmagomedov got the W, also in Saudi Arabia. It was a close fight against Paul Hughes over in PFL slash Bellator or PFLator or whatever it is, but nonetheless, it was a close fight. One could argue Hughes got it done, and then the week before that, we had Umar Nurmagomedov taking on Rob Dvalishvili, and I was pretty bullish on Umar, and Umar got absolutely smoked. So the next one in the Nurmagomedov clan is Saeed Nurmagomedov, who at minus 162 is taking on Vinicius Oliveira, aka the Lock Dog, who has been one of the most impressive bantamweights in the last 18 months for sure. I mean, this dude has wins over Ricky Simone. He smoked Bernardo Sopai and made that Contender Series debut against Victor Madrigal look very light work easy. So this guy, the Lock Dog, has been getting better and better, has a crazy array, crazy skill set, and he's taken on Saeed, who was able to rebound from that loss against the Dragon Martinez with an easy light work performance of the night finish over Muin Gafurov. So good for Saeed to get back in the win column. He's got those wins over Kak Rachmanov, Douglas Silva de Andrade, and Cody Stamen. So how good is Saeed Nurmagomedov? Is he going to get this one done at minus 162, or is the lock dog going to cash as a dog lock?
You know, I want to say Saeed, but I think I do like Oliveira. I think he's been looking pretty good. This screams upset. Another Nurmagomedov upset indeed, I feel.
If you're taking the lock dog in this one, do you think there's any pathway for him to emerge with a decision, all context considered, or is it lock dog finish or bust? And if so, you're taking lock dog. So are you suggesting that lock dog gets a finish over Saeed?
Yeah, I think he is gonna get this one done. I think he's gonna finish him probably KO third round.
He's a proven finisher for sure. I mean, the fight against Ricky Simone was kind of the anomaly in the sense that that was a decision victory for him, but the dude definitely is lethal in all aspects, and I'm curious to see if he can finish Nurmagomedov, because while, yes, these guys, I mean, you can make the argument that both of them, when referencing the January Nurmagomedovs lost their fight, neither of them got finished, and historically they don't get finished too often, so we'll see if the Lock Dog can get this one done, but 38% is going with Oliveira, 62% going with Saeed. A lot of beige on both sides. If you're taking the lock dog, is it an early finish, like easy light work, non-competitive Moicano on the other side type finish, or is it a late third round YOLO?
I could definitely see it being a late third round YOLO, but I don't know. With this guy's power, I think it could be even in the first or second. So I think any round, but it's gonna be a KO on the feet.
Yeah, good stuff. I'm rooting for that. I think that'd be very funny. And the lock dog always cuts some pretty interesting promos versus Saeed, who doesn't. So I like, shoot, I'm probably going to take Nurmagomedov on this one, meat boy. I'm kind of riding with the narratives in this one, but I like Oliveira a lot as a dog because this dude is nasty. He has finishing capability. I just think Saeed probably finds a way to not get finished and as a result wins a decision. So I'll take Saeed by decision. You like the lock dog by finish. Any last thoughts on this one?
No, no, this is a fun fight, great fight nonetheless.
Yeah, and this one, Meat Boy, it's a heavyweight throwdown and one that's pretty fascinating. It's Sergey Pavlovich, a minus 310 favorite, taking on Jairzinho Rosenstrike, aka Biggie Boy, who is on a nice two-fight win streak. He's won 3 of 4, and pretty encouraging to see because this was a guy whose career was kind of trending in the wrong direction. He had lost 3 of 4, got finished by Volkov, easy light work, 2 minutes into a contest, but since then he's got some beautiful finishes of his own and only has the one loss, which was to Jailton Almeida in early of May 2023. So good stuff from Biggie Boy. And Pavlovich, meanwhile, was all the rage, right? Gets the title fight 18-1 on a 6 fight win streak. And then boom, Aspinall 59, 69 seconds. Easy light work. Takes the interim, or the interim strap before Pavlovich could ever even smell it. And since then, he fought Volkov. Shout out to the Meat Boys. We were all over that one. I think we were the only ones in the space who picked Volkov with confidence in that one because Pavlovich was kind of a shell of himself after that Aspinall lock. So in this one, he's minus 310. The odds makers are clearly back on board the Pavlovich hype train, but he's taking on Biggie Boy, who is low key surging, keeps cashing as a dog, and is a dude who might be his best straight version versus Sergey, who last time we've seen him, it's been kind of rough. So, do you like Sergey as a minus 300 ish favorite, or is Biggie Boy coming for another upset?
Yeah, honestly, I think Biggie Boy is gonna come for another upset. I don't know why, I just like him in this. I think people overestimate the Russian brother, and he kind of got exposed his last bout, and I think he'll get exposed again versus Biggie Boy. Biggie Boy is low key fake and nice.
He is low key fake nice, and he's like we said, he's been looking great. He smoked Gaziv, easy light work, takes out Tuivasa, but that was a split decision. It was a pretty close competitive contest, so maybe the odds makers just weren't impressed enough with the type of victory he got over Tuivasa, considering Tuivasa has lost 8 straight fights. So that's a tough one, I suppose. But either way, he got the W and continued the win streak. So if you swap over Tapology, let me boy, 86% going Sergey Pavlovich. Clearly there's still a lot of Sergey backers, a lot of people who believe he is a great heavyweight fighter. Shout out Coltopiano's corner, but 86% going with Pavlovich, only 14 going with Biggie Boy. What do you make of the metrics? Are we missing something on Pavlovich?
No, I don't think we're missing anything on Pavlich. He's got big power, but so does Biggie Boy. Biggie Boy is notoriously known for the 2 second lip job, and I can see another 2 second lip job happening again versus the Russian.
Yeah, good stuff. And real quick, if it is the lip job, if he is able to get the finish over Sergey Pavlovich, do you see Pavlovich just biting down on his mouthpiece and trying to swing leather, absolutely slobiolos against Rosenstrike, or is he going to mix it up, get some takedowns, really implement a complete MMA game against Biggie Boy, who we've seen, if there's any critique, it's that he's pretty one-dimensional, right? If you take this guy down, you can really smash him. So does Sergey implement takedowns at all, or is he just swinging leather?
he's swinging leather, and I think that's where it's gonna go wrong because Biggie Boy is actually a pretty good counter puncher. So unless Pavlovich tries to wrestle, I think he's gonna get outclassed here. Like unless he lands a meat bomb, which he definitely could, but I just don't see it. I think counter puncher's gonna beat him, beat the sloppy, leather swinger.
Yeah, I think it's YOLO or bust for sure. And this one, people, I'm gonna roll with you. I'm gonna take Biggie Boy. Perhaps it's too much of a YOLO, but at plus 250, a volatile heavyweight contest in a fight that stylistically should feature two dudes just swinging and banging, then perhaps Biggie Boy is the one to get this one done. So I'm with you. Let's go Biggie Boy. Perhaps by finish, but I'm also gonna check out see if there's a plus 1,000 Biggie Boy decision available because this could perhaps be a nullified snoozer, and maybe there's a lot of clinch work, long rounds, a lot of leaning on each other. You never know how these heavyweight contests can go. So when you're expecting banger, oftentimes you get snoozer. So I'm gonna check that out for sure. But gonna take plus 250 Biggie Boy with you. Are we tripping on this one?
No, I think this is a sneaky good pick.
Yeah, let us know in the comments if we're sleeping on Pavlovich. Is he back and the two-fight L streak is being overestimated by us, or is he that bad and Biggie Boy's getting the easy light work finish? Let us know. But Meat Boy, it's the last one. It's the meat event. It's the return of Israel Adesanya, and this is kind of a fun one to break down because I mean you never know with Izzy. This could be the last time we see Adesanya. This could be the end of an era Adesanya, and this new blood, new hype beast Russian sniper Nasruddin Imavov is ready to call it quits for Izzy, but the odds makers, despite the fact that Izzy has lost two straight, lost three of four, got finished in two of those contests, they're still taking him as a minus 162 favorite in this contest against Imavov, who is on a nice three-fight win streak, basically four-fight win streak, but there's that weird no contest against the Milkman in there, but he's got one recent loss in basically his last 10. It's against Sean Strickland, who was the former champ. So clearly Imavov is right there. This is a dude who I don't know if anyone is making more leaps and bounds improvements across contests than Imavov is, but he's running into a new level, a former champ, a former GOAT in Izzy level. So what do you make of this one? We could talk about it for hours. Is Izzy coming back and has maybe one more run in him or at least a couple other big W's, or is this the Imavov's time?
Yeah, I think this is Imavov's time. I think Izzy is absolutely donezo. I think he's in the Usman era. Most likely, Izzy will probably be doing TikTok videos soon and becoming a social media influencer with Jake Paul or something. Because I'm not buying it. I'm not buying that Izzy's gonna make this tread back to the title and then lose again to DDP or Sean Strickland. Like, can he even beat those guys? Like, I don't even know. It just seems that Izzy's like ever since he got that Pereira win, he doesn't have the drive anymore because like he beat his boogeyman, he knocked him out, and he can go home in peace. And so I think at this point it's just more for, oh, let me get some money, and like I'm still a little delusional, but these younger guys that are more hungrier than me, they're gonna beat the crap out of me. So I think that's what's gonna happen. Hate to see it. Izzy is a legend, but I think the new blood Imavov is here.
Yeah, great stuff. It really is the do you trust the OG, the veteran, the former GOAT to come back and sort of humble the young kid and show him that there are levels to this game. I mean, on a much smaller scale, definitely a bad comparison. Last week, Talbology gets absolutely smoked by just the OG and just was the quintessential levels test. And obviously, this is a higher level. We're talking about a different category of fighters, but you mentioned the win over Alex Pereira, which I thought was a great point because maybe there was some sort of proverbial adrenaline dump. I mean, the fact that he's able to make peace with that. I love how you described it, the boogeyman, as you said. Like ever since then, he hasn't won a fight, and the fight against Sean Strickland was uncharacteristically strange, right? He got absolutely smoked. And then the fight against DDP, I mean, got submitted in the fourth round. He looked good at times, but it seemed like that fight was going where it ended up, and you just wonder if he not necessarily peaked at Pereira, but he's suddenly satisfied, and the hunger you described might be a little bit different. And it's difficult to predict. And the odds makers think that there's not too much going into that because I mean -162 is still a pretty decent favorite. Tapology overwhelmingly bullish on Adesanya, 77%, 23% going with the Russian sniper. So what do you make of that and the Tapology, the odds? Is it just all of the Israel, diehards that want to believe this story isn't over? How do you explain the Tapology and the odds?
Yeah, I mean, Izzy is a massive fan base, so you already know that the shills are going to come to play and make those odds juicy for Mr. Meat over here because yeah, these are looking real good for Imavov. I think Imavov's got it done. I think he's improved a lot, and Izzy's just on his way out. This absolutely could be a Tapology scenario where it's like Izzy just outclasses him, like not even in the same realm. But I don't know. I'm a big fan of Imavov. I got to ride with him.
Yeah, this one's tough for me, Meat Boy, because I do like Imavov as well. I think that he is getting better and better, and I'm always the one who will, admittedly fall for the narrative, believe the story, and sometimes have that influence the pick, and it's easy to roll in that regard in this one. Last pitch, Meat Boy, because I truly am on the fence. If Imavov gets this one done, is it early? Does he get a finish? Does it feature takedowns? How does he get it done over Izzy if you're picking him? Does it go the distance? I mean, what's your final best pitch for why the sniper takes out Adesanya?
You know, I'm gonna go with I think he's gonna take him out purely because he's been on a winning trajectory, right? And Izzy's been on a massive losing. So I truly believe in momentum is key, and the momentum ain't looking good for Izzy if that's the case because Izzy's been getting finished, been getting wobbled, and I could see Imavov get a bizarre KO just like he did versus Cannonier, a fake real KO. I can see the same thing happening. That confidence is key, and sometimes these guys they peak once they get those certain wins, and then they're unstoppable. Even though they were always there, but there's always that self-doubt and self-belief. I think Imavov is there, and there's no more self doubt anymore.
Yeah, obviously the self belief is through the roof for Imavov. However, if it is the KO finish, the lucky KO finish that he featured over Cannonier, I just wonder if that same sort of finish will be at play against a guy like Izzy who doesn't really get hit too often, although Sean Strickland was able to really bring it to him. So perhaps if Imavov can implement a similar style, but I don't know, Meat Boy. I guess I'm leaving unconvinced, and ultimately, I'm gonna roll with the story. Let's go, Izzy Adesanya not being done. He's got one more ride in him, and Imavov is about to get humbled, sent back down to the prelims. Izzy picks up either a late finish in a dominant contest or a decision where the rounds are kind of close and perhaps the hometown judge's favorite for Adesanya. But I'm gonna take Adesanya. I hope he doesn't get smoked. I hope this is a close competitive fight. Really tough one for me to read though, because a lot of invariables and could see this fight going many different ways. Ultimately, though, I'm going to simp out for Adesanya. Am I tripping?
No, no, not Trevor. That's definitely the smart, safe play because Adesanya, he's just so good. And is Imavov that guy? We're gonna find out. But this could be, like I said, a Tabology 2.0 versus Barcelos, and he just gets outclassed. Or even I guess you could call it a Sean Strickland versus Imavov, where it was just like, oh, okay, Imavov's not there yet, but I think he's there. He's learned the lesson. He's felt the best of the best, Sean Strickland, and I think he's going to do very well versus Izzy.
Yeah, good stuff. Love the perspective. Let us know in the comments who you are rolling with. Are you taking Imavov, the hype beast, or does Adesanya still have something left in the train? Let us know. And we broke down six, Meat Boy. Obviously, Sharabola is the lock. Last week I went 1-4. You went 2-3. It's definitely better for UFC Riyadh, but out of six, how many are you getting right?
I'm going to go 5-1.
5-1 for you. I'm saying 4-2, but I would even take a 3-3 500 banger with how 2025 has started thus far. So either way, Meat Boy, UFC Riyadh in the books. Any last thoughts?
No, no. This is gonna be a solid card, fun card nonetheless. I'm excited to see how the judges and the refs how soon or how late they stop fights on certain fighters. So I'm excited to see that. Should be interesting. Can't wait.